I'm Eric DeCosta, and this is Untold Stories. Years ago, we were looking at different ways to sharpen the algorithm that we use for prediction, both draft-wise and also free agency. Guy that I really respect, who's working for the Orioles, a guy named Sig Maydal, was telling me that back in his days working at NASA, that he had uncovered some patterns regarding astrology, the planets, and time of year as far as predicting players.
Eric came to me and said he had a great idea that was going to take us to the next level in evaluating free agents and draft prospects. I was intrigued. I was interested.
When I talked to John about these kind of things, first of all, John appreciates the, I think, outside-the-box approach.
We're pretty cutting edge around here. We like to think outside the box. I guess I didn't realize we'd be thinking outside the galaxy, beyond the Milky Way. But he took me through it, and I was interested.
I think he was intrigued.
Then he said, we're going to find stars in the stars. I didn't know what to think at that point. Eric was pushing it hard. He started sending me articles, books, the horoscope every day. Wanted me to look at it.
I kept bringing him more and more articles and studies and different books and different things. We watched some videos on YouTube about some of these very things, and it really did become clear-cut to John that we were on the right track.
It was pretty interesting. He was making quite a case. I just couldn't wrap my arms around the idea that we're going to be looking at symbols and signs to decide. Then he started talking about the all-cap backfield. We have a chance to build the all-cap backfield. I was kind of embarrassed to ask him what he was talking about because I didn't know. Then he talked about Capricorns and what kind of symbol it meant, what they were all about, and he pointed out that Lamar was a Capricorn and that Derrick Henry was a Capricorn.
We've got a chart that we used, created by Derek Yam upstairs, that really does break down the best fits. And so as everybody knows, two Capricorns is a great tandem. A Capricorn and a Cancer, not as good. It's pretty complicated, but I think based on what Derek's research and the buy-in from John upstairs, I think we were able to do it pretty well.
We track everything. We're taking it to another level now with Derek Yam. He's going to be in charge of this program. Now we're going to be tracking the stars.
He's always been director of data science, but we've added to his title director of data science and zodiac decision making.
Man, if I'm not a Virgo, I'm not a Baltimore Raven. Thank God I'm a Virgo.
Eric asked every prospect what their sign is.
The first question that we ask guys when we interview them is, hey dude, what's your sign? Oftentimes they might not even know their sign these days. It's not like when I was growing up and we would talk about these kind of things, what sign are you and what does that mean? A lot of guys don't even know their sign.
And last question, as an Aries, do you think that's kind of like led to any sort of changes in your life? Does that have any impact on your performance?
Don't get into zodiacs too much. I like to look into it because it's interesting to look at and see how I align with things. But no, I don't think it's impacting.
Okay, no impact on your football. Okay.
Some guys don't understand what he's talking about. One guy grabbed a piece of paper, kind of looked at Eric quizzically, and gave Eric his autograph. Then one guy gave Eric the peace sign. He was out. That's the most memorable one.
I'll go back to Lamar Jackson. Lamar, I believe, 1997, year of the ox. All the research and data that we had led us to believe that Lamar would be a historical player just based on the fact of his birthday, year of the ox. Zay Flowers, born in 2000, he's a dragon, symbolizes explosive players, take charge, alpha type guys. Kyle Hamilton, I think he might have been a snake, an attitude of figuring things out. A snake can kind of slither himself into tight crevices, which we've seen Kyle do many times on screen passes and things like that. And then, you go back even to someone like Ray Lewis, who I think was born in 1975, and if I'm not mistaken, he was a rabbit. And if you ever watch Ray Lewis, his quickness to the ball, especially when he was younger, outstanding like a rabbit.
People started talking about analytics like it was some far-fetched idea, and now everybody's doing it. The NBA's doing it, baseball's doing it, football's doing it. We got ahead of the curve on that. And this is something new. This is the next thing. You don't want to be behind. You don't want to be caught off guard. We just want to be ahead of the curve.
If you go back to, for instance, comp picks, I'm proud of the fact that we were kind of out in front on comp picks. And now you see all these other teams basically copying us and, trying to get as many comp picks as possible. I personally believe that if you look forward 10 years from now, every team will be doing this. Every team will be saying, hey, dude, what's your sign? It's a story that should be told. I think people want to understand how we've been able to stay successful as long as we have, not a lot of people would think that the zodiac would be such an important aspect of what we do. We're a size team, we're a speed team, we're a character team, but we're also an astrology team.